Hi, this is Sean. Welcome back to Club Fed True Stories. This video is all about if you're going to self-surrender, what you need to know, what you need to bring, what you can do, and definitely how to prepare. Because this is the trip of the lifetime. It's like your vacation, but you're going to prison, and you definitely got to watch this video. Hi, welcome back. This is Sean from Club Fed True Stories. This video is all about self-surrendering to prison. Are you facing prison time? Or have you been indicted? Are you on a pretrial? Did your house get raided and they're going to indict you and you may be going to prison? It's all about camps and lows and even some of the mediums, but this is about self-surrendering. So I went to a camp in Florence, Colorado. I got a 52-month sentence. I did wire fraud. I falsely made tax preparation forms for homeless guys, tweaker friends, drug addicts. Got them all kinds of big fat refunds. Took 20%. They got 80. Now I owe the government $1.7 million. The government wants all their refunds back, and they get to keep their refunds. I gotta pay them. I had to go to prison. And now I'm making this video to help out guys like me because I was scared. Man, I did not want to go to prison. I only wanted probation. I didn't even think I deserved that. You know, boy, it was a journey. It's been a journey. But with the help of a couple prison consultants out there that I did not hire, I had no money. If you even see my video, I was homeless before I went to prison. But I called these guys up and told them I had no money, but I watched your videos and had a bunch of questions. Guys like Walt Pavlo and RDAP Dan, those are two guys you can trust. And if you've got a little money, you can hire a prison consultant. If you don't have any money, watch a bunch of my videos, watch a bunch of theirs, and check out my description below. Now, I've really done the work for if you're going to self-surrender. So excuse me for having notes, but I want to make this video is really important for guys that got to self-surrender. So in my description down below, you hit the show more button, and it'll show you more. So I've got how to send money to inmates, how to send mail to inmates, maps of the BOP prisons and the listings where the prisons are. I got Walt Pavlo's Prisonology website, a couple links to there. Really, really good information on there. This stuff's all free, by the way. I got the CORRLINKS, so when an inmate gets to the prison, they can email you. But if you live in New York and they're going to Atlanta, they're going to pay like 90 cents a minute to talk to you. But if you had a local number that they could call, it might only be 10 cents a minute. It could save you a bunch of money. So you want to get a local phone number. So I got the CORRLINKS app. It's $6 a year. When the inmate emails you, right on your phone, it shows right up. You can send right back. Otherwise, it's got to go through Gmail and third parties, and it could be 4 hours before you get the email. And that's if you decide that you want to check your email, because you don't get an alert. So for $6 a year, it's a really good investment. That's the only thing that costs money on the description. All the other information is free. You can use Grasshopper. You can use Google Voice. I got links to all that. I got links to character reference letters, how to write one, the samples, the templates, what you should say to the judge, what you shouldn't say to the judge. It's all down in the description. And then I got how to get into RDAP, what RDAP's all about, how to get in there, save you a whole bunch of money. Because if you don't have the money to hire a prison consultant, call me. My number's on the screen. We could talk, because I'm not a prison consultant. I just want to help guys like me, let you know you don't have to be scared. If you're going to a camp, you're going to a low, you're a white-collar guy like me, or you're a drug dealer, nonviolent, because half of the camps are full of drug dealers. But you don't have to be scared. Nobody's going to beat you up. You're not going to turn into somebody's bitch. You don't have to join a gang. And you're not going to get shanked. You're not going to get killed. You're not going to get stabbed. There are some fights in camps, and some of my videos talk about that. And that's usually when a guy owes gambling debts. These guys play for $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a hand in poker. We got some money with guys with money in these camps, and they're gambling big time. There are a lot of cell phones out there, and if you go tell a guard this guy's got a cell phone and stuff, you might get beat up for that. But other than that, you're not going to get beat up. So anyways, let me get back to, I got a list here. I got 10 things you just got to know if you're going to self-surrender. And let's say you're a family member watching this video right now and you've got somebody locked up in a federal detention center, which is kind of like a county jail, but it's a special part of the county jail while they're awaiting sentencing and they're not out, and you're watching my video. So I want to tell you that there is a way they can get out of the county jail, get out of the detention center, and be home with you and fight their case from the outside. But the first thing they got to do is go through a drug and alcohol program. I was in one called Newbridge. It's in Berkeley. And this was a hardcore attack therapy type drug and alcohol program. But they let me out of the detention center to go there. So you need to talk to your public defender or your lawyer, and you tell them you want to go to a drug program. Every district in the federal system has a drug program that's been pre-approved that they will pay. I don't know if they paid $10,000 to get me in there or whatever, but the government pays for the program, and they will put you in there. But you're the family member who's got your loved one in detention right now. Get a hold of his public defender or his lawyer. Say you want to get him in a drug program. They'll release him. And it only took me, 14 days, 16 days. I was released and put into the program. And then when you finish the program, then you're free to live wherever, obey all the rules. You'll be on pretrial. It's like a probation. I was on pretrial for 4 years on pretrial. Had I not done that drug program, I'd have had to do the 4 years in this little detention center awaiting sentencing. And I would have had time served. They would let me go because I got 52 months. Anyway, so back to my list. Here's the top 10 things, okay? So the number one thing I want you to know if you've got to self-surrender to a camp or a low, you'll get a designation letter once you get sentenced. So the judge sentenced me, gave me 52 months. So you want to ask the judge at sentencing time, can I have a little time to get my affairs in order? Okay, so they gave me 60 days to self-surrender. Okay, but what you want to know, so my note says self-surrender to the prison. Oh, so you're going to get a designation letter in the mail. And mine said that I was designated to go to FCI Florence in Colorado. I got sentenced on March 2nd, 2017. And on May 2nd, 60 days later, I had to turn myself in to prison. My lawyer tells me you have to you have to go to the marshal's office in Oakland. I'm from San Francisco. To the marshal's office in Oakland, where you went to court and got sentenced. You need to check in with them, and they will take you to your destination. You know what that's going to mean? So they're going to lock me in a little detention room. They're going to take me down to the Glenn Dwyer Detention Center on 6th Street in Oakland, and they're going to hold me there for 2 or 3 weeks. Then they're going to call me up, and they're going to put me on the club, on the Con Air, and they're going to shackle me, and I'm going to be on an airplane. They're going to take me to Oklahoma City, right, where you don't get to piss or use the bathroom or nothing. You're on this airplane for hours and hours and hours, and you're just herded like cattle. And you're in there with the hardcore terrorists, everything. You never know who you're going to be sitting next to. Then you go to Oklahoma City, and that could be 2 or 3 weeks before they take you out of there. Maybe put you on another plane, take you to Denver, Colorado, and then on another chain gang bus. I mean, it could be months before I get to turn myself in. And my lawyer lied to me. He said that's what I had to do. And I said, I don't think that's right. My destination papers say I can self-surrender to the prison. He goes, no, you can't do that. So I went through 4 different federal appointed lawyers. So the last one was worthless. He was only assigned to me for my sentencing because of conflicts of interest, because I had 9 other co-defendants. The first 3 were great. Save your money, don't hire a private attorney. The public defenders are awesome. They work hard for you. And the court-appointed attorneys, that the courts will give you are really good, except for the last one. The 3 out of 4 were excellent. The last guy just didn't know what he was doing. So anyways, Walt Pavlo from Prisonology.com, who I had built a relationship with over my 4 years on pretrial, I had no money to pay him, tells me, call the judge's chambers, talk to the judge's personal clerk, and ask them if it's okay to turn yourself into the prison. And also call the prison itself. So I made both phone calls. First, I don't want to call the judge's chambers. What are they going to do? Throw you in prison? You're already going to prison. So I made the phone call, and the judge clerk said, yeah, you can turn yourself into the prison. I called the prison itself. Yeah, you can turn yourself in. We looked it up. You got to be here by 12 o'clock at noon, on May 2nd, 2017. And so I did that. I flew out to Colorado Springs, stayed with a buddy a couple nights, and they drove me in, and you can watch my video about my first day in prison. It tells us all about how that happened. So I want you to know, don't always believe your lawyers. They don't. That's why prison consultant can be good, but they cost money, man. Watch the videos, save your money, call me. If you can afford one, go ahead. They're good guys. Well, 2 of them are, RDAP Dan and Walt Pavlo. Justin Papperny, do not hire that guy. Watch my other videos. And he's their buddy, and they're going to be mad when I say this, but that guy's ripped so many people off. Do not hire him. Okay? And I won't go into that. Number 2. So you can pre-send money. Okay, so it's a myth that you can show up with $1,000 in your wallet and hand that to the guard and say, could you put this on my books? They're going to take that $1,000 and they're going to say, do you have an envelope? You're going to say, no, I didn't bring an envelope. Well, you need an envelope and a stamp, which we are not going to provide for you. And you need to send that off to Iowa. There's a place where you can send it via a money order. You can't send cash. Basically, they're going to tell you to send that cash back. I don't know what they're really going to do with that cash, but they're not going to put it on your books. What you need to do is you need to pre-send the money either on a money order, a Western Union, or a MoneyGram. I have all the links in my description how to send money. Okay, and so you want to do this like a week or 2 before. When you get that designated letter in the mail, I got mine about 34 days before I had to turn myself in. It's going to have your federal ID number. You see my little intro with the red card? So mine is 18649-111. The -111 is where you're from. So I was from the Bay Area. But you got to have that prison number. And then you can send your money in a week or 2 ahead of time. So when you get there, it's waiting for you. That's number 2. Number 3, pick your camp or low before sentence. Okay, so I qualified for RDAP. And I knew this. And watch my other video about how to get into RDAP. Again, check out my description. All the links are there about how to get an RDAP, what the program's about. You get a year off your sentence. You get 6 months halfway house time. So that's 18 months you get to go home early. Check the description. Watch my videos. And there's a lot of other guys that have good videos on RDAP. So anyways, not every place has RDAP. I knew I was going to a camp. But there's no, I'm from California. None of the camps in California have RDAP. The lows do. And if you think you're going to a low, then that's great. You can go to Lompoc. You can go to Terminal Island. There's a couple other ones. The nearest one in California is Sheridan, Oregon. But I decided to pick Florence, Colorado. I actually picked Inglewood because when I did my little research, it said it had a camp. And when I called up the prison, they go, yeah, we have RDAP here. What they didn't tell me is we have RDAP here in our low, but we don't have it in our camp. So when I requested Inglewood, they gave me the next nearest one, which was Florence, which was a camp, which has the RDAP. Also, I checked, and they had a music room. That was really important to me. And I have some other videos about the music rooms. But that was really important to me because I'm a musician. Well, I think I am. I got a bunch of videos out there. We won't go there today. So you can pick your camp. And if you're not going to RDAP, if you're not RDAP qualified, you're not a drug addict or alcoholic, you can still find a camp or low in any state in the country. It doesn't have to be within 500 miles from where you live. That's if you want that. My family wasn't going to visit me. shit, I'm lucky some of them talk to me today, and some of them do not ever want to talk to me again. And that's what happens when you're a white-collar criminal. Your family, your co-workers, your friends, your buddies, your girlfriends, your wives will leave. They don't want nothing to do with you. You're taboo. They don't want you in their life anymore. They will abandon you. They will leave you. You're going to be stuck alone. You're going to find out who your real friends are. And I sure did. I sure did. But I had a few that wrote me letters. Those were my AA buddies, because I'm in recovery now, and I haven't done drugs in over 4 years. And if you see my videos, I talk about that. I live in a clean and sober house now. I go to my AA meetings. I got a sponsor. I work the steps. I do all that stuff because I made too many bad decisions, bad choices in my life. And it's about time I changed. Took prison to wake me up, and it finally did. Life's a lot much better today. That's another video. I have another. I got a lot of videos out there. Check out my channel. Number 4. If you owe in detention, can you help me get in the drug program? I did. Oh yeah, I already talked about that. That's if you're in a detention center, how you can get out. In my case, I was in Oakland, California, and I went to the New Ridge drug program. But you have your family contact your lawyer, your public defender, and tell them that you want to go into a drug and alcohol program. That also is going to help you get into RDAP. Okay, so that can go on your pre-sentence report. You show the judge, look, I had a drug and alcohol problem. I went through the program. Put that on your paperwork. You're going to get an RDAP. If you're not a drug addict, if you're not an alcoholic, don't lie. Do your fucking time. And I don't mean to use the word fucking, but you know what? Don't take that away from somebody who really needs the program. Okay, if you're not an alcoholic and you're not a drug addict, don't use the system. It's time to change. Okay, take accountability for your crimes. Okay, don't lie, cheat the system. You're going to go through a drug program and pretend that you're a drug addict. Have fun with that, and I hope the guilt just gets to you. But if you have a problem with alcohol and drugs, please use those programs. Number 5, at sentencing, ask for time to get your affairs. So when you get sentenced, you can ask the judge, can I have some time to self-surrender? They're going to give you up to 90 days. Now with the pandemic, they might even give you more. All right. And also ask the judge where you want to be sent to. So, because I knew I wanted to go to a place that had a camp. So I asked the judge if I could go to Inglewood. Now, I didn't know Inglewood, the camp there, doesn't have an RDAP because I got misinformation. So do a little better than me. I should have asked them, okay, you have RDAP there. Is that also at your camp? Then they would have said, oh, no, our low has RDAP. That's what we thought you were talking about. Because the people that answer the phone at a prison, you got to figure this is a guy they're working, they're 9 to 5 or whatever, graveyard shift, whatever. These are not the highest educated staff members that answer the phone at a prison. And they really don't care about your question. Especially if you say, hey, I got to do some prison time and I'm shopping around for the right prison. Are you them? Come on down. You get a brand new car. These guys really don't care. So you got to really be specific on your questions. Do you have RDAP there at your camp? Okay. Is RDAP open right now with the pandemic? Well, when is it going to be open with the pandemic? And you need to ask them questions. If they don't have the answer, do you know someone who can answer my question? So be more specific. But the judge can recommend where to send you. So number 6, you want to set up your CORRLINKS account. So like I said in the beginning, I got in the description, hit the show more button. It opens up. There's a whole bunch of links. So when there's CORRLINKS and there's TrueLinks. TrueLinks is the name of the email system that the inmates use when they're at their camp or their low or their medium. We have a little computer room. It's called TrueLinks, and that's your email system. On the outside world, it's not called TrueLinks. It's called CORRLINKS, correctional, institution links. Why it's not the same, why it's TrueLinks and CORRLINKS, haven't figured it out. It's 2 different companies. But you can go to the CORRLINKS, CORRLINKS.com, or just check out my description and click on the links. You can get a little app on your phone, all right? And when when the inmate emails you, you get a little bleep, bleep, bleep. Oh, you know, Joe just sent me an email. Hey, Joe, thanks. So how was your first day there in prison? And he can email you back and forth. Normally, when an inmate emails you, it's going to take about 4 hours for that message to get to you. And like I have Gmail, so if he emails me from TrueLinks, it's going to go to my Gmail, and it's going to say you have a message from an inmate from TrueLinks, and it's going to have me go to the CORRLINKS to see the message from the TrueLinks. I know this is confusing. And when I open up the CORRLINKS, it's going to give me his message. And it's going to offer me to sign up for their app, right, for $6 a year. Well, I'm not paying those $6. I just want to see what Joe wants to say. So I hit no, and I read his message. The next time Joe sends me a message, I'm never going to know unless I go back to CORRLINKS and see if there's any messages. It's no longer going to show up on my Gmail. It's a one-time shot, introductory offer. But if you get the app for the $6, you will never, ever miss an email from your loved one, from your inmate. So that $6 a year is crucial. So that was number 6. Number 7, you want to send yourself contacts info photos. So, before you self-surrender, I got this piece of paper here. And let's say I've got my cousins, my aunts, my wife, if I have one, that's still with me, my kids' numbers, their emails, you know, everybody that I love in my life that's still with me now. Well, I want to be able to write them letters. I want to email them. I want to have their phone numbers. I can't remember all that. You know, now everything's just push the button and it calls them. I don't remember anything. So you want to write all that down, and you want to put that in an envelope, and you want to send it to that designated prison that you're going to. Okay? You also can send up to 10 photos. Can't be the Polaroids. I'm 58 years old, so you might not know what a Polaroid is, but that's those Instamatic pictures, and there's this little film thing on about. Anyways, you can send 10 pictures, okay? Number 8, books. You want to go to Amazon.com. So anyways, books and newspapers. So go to like Amazon.com. Sign up for a book club. Sign up for books. Pre-order them. Send them like a week ahead before you're going to turn yourself in. So when you get there, all these books will be waiting for you in the mail. And then pre-order more. Newspaper subscriptions, magazine subscriptions. You know, if you're doing a 4-year sentence, you know, sign up for 4 years of your favorite. I mean, you know, if it's UFO.com, if it's Sports Illustrated, if it's the Wall Street Journal, you know, whatever it is, People Magazine, whatever your thing is, your local newspaper, sign up for those prescriptions now and, you know, have them ready. So when you get there, it's all waiting for you. Number 9, what you can bring. So here's what you can bring with you. So when you actually show up on that day and you knock on the door, hi, I'm here to self-surrender. You know what you can bring? So I could bring this. I have not taken this off since, well, my cousin bought this for me a week before I self-surrendered. So this is my cross. It's a cheap little thing. It's $4. We went to a religious store. He bought it for me. I've never taken it off. I shower with this. I've had this on for over 4 years. Okay, never took it off in prison. It means so much to me because it meant my family forgave me. At least my cousin did. And I'm still in his life today. So you can bring this. It can't be more than $100. You can bring a wedding band. Can't be more than $100. You can bring reading glasses. Can't be more than $100. You can bring shoes if they're like cheap ones from Walmart. Now, if they say Nike and they're worth $300, no, I'm not going to let you bring. But if a shoe doesn't have a brand name on it, like, let's see if I can reach my shoe up here. Oh. I can't. I'm getting old. I got some cheap Walmart shoes, you know, $20 shoes. They let me bring those into the prison camp. So that's what you can bring, and you can also bring your list Right now, it's pandemic time. It's coronavirus. So guess what? You're not going to go right into the camp. I got bad news for you. They're going to lock you up in the SHU for 2 weeks. This is number 10. They're going to throw you in the SHU. SHU stands SHU, Segregated Housing Unit. They're going to put you in there for 2 weeks. And it's going to be over at the medium, maybe the low, but it's not even, the camp doesn't have a SHU because we're such nice guys, right? So you're going to be probably on a special like hallway range. They're not going to put you in there with, you know, Charles Manson's not going to be your roommate, but it's 2-man cells. So they're probably going to put you in with another camper who violated, the guy who got busted with the cell phone, you know. They're going to put him in with you. And here's the deal. It's 2 weeks. It's really going to suck. And you're not going to have nothing in there. So number 10 is, I'm not even sure if they're going to let you bring this piece of paper in there with your contacts. Hopefully, they're nice enough where they will. Another thing you're going to be in there, and I don't know if you're going to be able to write a letter. So if you could bring some extra paper, a little golf-sized pencil, because they don't want anything you're going to shake with. It's not allowed in there. And some envelopes and some stamps. And I don't even know if they're going to let you bring this in there, but if you're nice enough, and you're nice, if you are nice to the guards, they're nice to you. In a camp, okay? In a penitentiary, they're thinking it's a con game. They don't bother being nice to them. But in a camp, you're a person too. They're a person too. It's a total different human relationship. Those guys are more real than you can actually imagine. So hopefully they'll let you bring that stuff in there. Also, you're not going to be able to make any phone calls for the first 2 weeks because when you get assigned, when you get into the camp, normally you see, like in my case, I went to see the counselor and she gave me a piece of paper with a password and an ID number and all this, and I went on the computer and did that, and boom, I was in on the computer. And then you've got to make a phone call, it's got to be approved. So, you know, if I'm going to call, my father died while I was in prison, but he was still alive when I got there. So I want to put, you know, my father's name. It was Harry Calgill, his address in Santa Rosa, and his phone number. And I put that on the computer and I hit enter. And it takes about a day to get approved. So the next day said, you're approved, you can call your father now. You're not going to be able to do all that because you're going to be thrown immediately into the SHU. So let your loved ones know for the first 2 weeks, they're not going to hear from you. Unless you bring a piece of paper, the little golf pencil, you know, for miniature golf kind of thing, paper, envelope, some stamps, or maybe one of those envelopes with the stamp already on it, the prepaid ones, and you just be really nice to the guard and say, can I please bring this in there with me to the SHU so I can write some letters out? And that's the best way I can say. So the last thing I want to say, I had to turn myself in at 12 o'clock noon. Okay. I didn't have to go to the SHU because it wasn't a pandemic now. So Walt Pavlo told me to show up early so I could get processed early and get into prison. I don't think this is going to matter, so I'm not going to tell you to show up early. But the main thing is, don't be afraid, okay? You're going to find nice guys in there. Look, I consider myself a nice guy who went to prison. Made bad choices, bad mistakes. You're going to find a lot of guys just like me, okay, in a camp and in a low. Can't speak for the mediums in the penitentiaries. Thank God I didn't go to one. But your life is not over. Your journey is just beginning. You're going to have stories to tell. Okay? Think of it like you're going on deployment, you're serving your country. Okay? This is the easiest part of your whole sentencing. You've been indicted, you've been on pretrial, you've been crazy, am I going to get probation sentencing? Your friends have left you, your family don't talk to you, the ones that are still here, thank God. And it's all, and you got sentenced, and I know when you get sentenced, it's going to be such relief. Even if you get 10 years, you're going to, oh, at least I know. Okay? So just relax, enjoy your journey, and leave me, call me, leave me a comment. If you want, you can talk to me while you're in prison. You can write me letters, call me. I'll give you my email, we can talk. I want to help you through this. I really, really do. Because you're not a bad person. I just know you're not. If you made it this far in my video, you're not a bad person. Okay? And you can come out on the other side, you can still have a life. So God bless you. Please subscribe. Hit the buttons, for the likes and all that. Thanks for watching, man.